Hey guys, Paul with ConvertingCopy.com, and today we're going to talk about 4 WordPress security tips to keep in mind to keep your WordPress run site or sites safe and secure. The reason I am writing this post is because one of my older outdated sites, which I haven't really touched in probably over a year, I just found out got hacked and all the files were deleted for it. And worse, I hadn't backed it up in a very long time. So, that's a very dumb mistake on my part. I'm much more involved with my active sites, obviously, and I ensure that they're constantly backed up and updated. But I've started doing this with all of my sites now, obviously. I've put all of my logins for my different WordPress sites into one folder in my bookmarks, and then I just open them all up once a month and make sure that everything about them is up to date. And I recommend that you do the same. So let's talk about how to keep your site up to date and secure with these 4 WordPress security tips. And first, as I mentioned and touched on, you need to back up your database and your WordPress files. You should do this maybe once a week, once a month, once every day, depending on how often and frequently you update your site. You may want to do it every time you add a new post or any kind of new content to your site. And what I use is a specific free plugin in WordPress called WP-DB-Backup, so WordPress Database Backup. So you can search for that. It's completely free, or just check out the link I've included in the post associated with this video. But basically, you can schedule an on-demand backup of your database and its files, or you can schedule one for the future. So, like I said, every day, every month, every week, however frequently you want to do it, and it will automatically send that file to you via the email address of your choosing. And you can choose the files that you want to back up specifically. You can choose them all. And basically, this makes it so that if you ever find that your site has been hacked or deleted or anything like that, if you have any kind of issues, you can go back and revert to importing that backup file into your hosting control center, basically. So this ensures that you're always going to be covered. So I recommend that you get that as one of the most important plugins you can have. And I actually mentioned that as being one of the most important to have plugins in 2012. So I'll include a full list of that or a link to that post in this description for this video. So check that out. And secondly, we have update. Now WordPress, as you are probably aware, puts out a new version maybe every 1 or 2 weeks, and it can be annoying to have to update all of your different sites, but it's well worth it because with every new update you have the latest defense against anyone who's trying to hack in to your site and exploit the weaknesses of WordPress. So if you leave your WordPress run site not as up to date as it should be, then it's still exposed to the holes in the defense of that version, which most hackers and anyone else can easily break into. So you want to keep it as up to date as possible so that you have the latest defense against people trying to hack into your site. So it's important that you keep these as up to date as possible. And again, that's why I recommend creating a bookmarks folder so you can easily access all of your sites at once, even the ones that you don't use so much anymore, and ensure that they are up to date with a quick click of the mouse. Next, we have permissions, which refers to the permissions which you can set for the different folders and files which make up your site. And you can set them as read, write, and execute. And you can change these permissions based on just you, a group, or everyone. So generally this refers to how much access people have to the folders and files on your site and who has that access. So the general rule of thumb is the less permissions that you can allow and still maintain optimal functionality of your site, then the better. So some plugins and things like that require special permissions to access certain folders and files. So they might need write permission for certain things. So you might have to change that. But again, you don't want to leave yourself vulnerable by allowing too many permissions, because that will get you in trouble as you're giving random people access to your site, basically. So again, the less permissions which you can allow and still maintain site functionality. And finally, we have a general rule of thumb, passwords. You should update your passwords. I recommend as often as maybe you back up your WordPress databases and you update your WordPress versions. So maybe once a month, you should just keep a sheet of paper maybe next to your computer with all of your different login passwords, and then change them and update them maybe once a month for all of your different sites. So this includes the login to your databases as well as the login to your WordPress site itself. And this will keep you secure so that it's more difficult for people to crack your passwords. And if they do, you'll be updating it fairly regularly. And remember, a good password is comprised of numbers, letters, that's uppercase and lowercase, and symbols. So the more complex password you have, the more secure you'll be. So avoid the the pet names and street names and things like that are very easy to crack, and go with these kind of random combination passwords. Okay? So just remember that acronym, BUPP, BUP, and you'll be doing what you can to keep your WordPress files and run sites safe and secure. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.